Once you rule out all possible natural and man-made explanations for the Phoenix Lights, there is only one explanation that, despite what the debunkers say, cannot be conclusively ruled out. Perhaps we are being visited by our cosmic neighbors, stopping by to check us out. If you consider that the universe is full of life, we are just another race of beings, nothing special. Other more advanced species of life could certainly observe us, just as we observe most of the life forms on this planet. Considering the trillions of planets in our own galaxy, the hundreds of billions of galaxies in the universe, and how rugged, diverse, and adaptive life is, there's virtually no scientific or logical probability that we are alone. In fact, there could be civilizations out there millions or even billions of years ahead of us. We don't know who is really out there or what their capabilities are, so anything is possible. For many people, seeing is believing, but until we have open contact, there's nothing wrong with keeping an open mind.
I fully believe that we're not alone, and have for many, many years, even though, but at the time I went to the moon, it was the conventional wisdom, both in science and theology, that we were alone in the universe.
Over the past few years, I've spoken to many witnesses and UFO experts, and personally witnessed 2 independent sightings. There's no doubt in my mind that we're being discreetly visited. The big question ultimately boils down to who is covering it up and why. The more you look at the evidence, the more obvious it becomes that the truth about extraterrestrial presence has been intentionally covered up for a long time.
We have to remember that right after World War II, the Army Air Force was separated and became the Air Force, a separate branch of service. And that the OSS, which was the Office of Special Services, was disbanded and eventually became the CIA. So that here was a major military organization and a major intelligence organization totally in disarray, new-founded, didn't know what they were doing after World War II, and not really reorganized yet. And as a result of that, the President Truman at that time convened a very high-level committee to examine this alien or UFO phenomenon. They did come to the conclusion that it was alien, and the military rightly came to the conclusion, if they're hostile, there's nothing we can do about it. Therefore, their choice was to deny it and to hush it up and create the National Security Act of 1947, which validated that deception and covered it up and allowed the group to go underground, as it were. And we've been living with that now for 50 years. It is really the beginning of the whole cover-up, the entire denial of this phenomenon.
I believe that we're getting very close to the truth being exposed, and that's why it's so important for everyone to at least keep an open mind. At some point, we have to consider the possibility of joining our vast cosmic community. The potential benefits are far more reaching than any one of us can imagine. Huge advances in technology and medicine, free energy, universal knowledge, and evolution to a more spiritually enlightened society where war and violence is virtually eliminated.
It's important that we look at our civilization, our place in history, use our tools of science for greater understanding, to promote the greater good, and that's what it's all about.
The big question we should be asking is, how do we transition to a highly spiritual and peaceful race with total openness and integration into a vast cosmic society? The transformation will be a challenging one, and I believe it's a process that every civilization must face at some point in its evolution.